Hello, folks, and welcome back to Family Showdown, another night of Top 10 live goodness. Obviously, I'm Rebecca. That's Hunter. And tonight, we are going to do the Top 10 Thematic Euros. Just for you, because you requested it.
All right, so let's get some level setting here.
Oh, geez, here we go.
Level setting.
That means you're breaking the list.
No, I'm explaining what we mean by Euro game.
Oh, okay. I jumped the gun.
So there is a generic definition of a Euro game. Euro games usually involve little direct player interaction. It's usually indirect.
No fighting each other.
Low randomness, and if there is randomness, it's usually before you get to act. So, for example, you put out a group of cards, and you pick one from that card, so you get to react to the randomness. Whereas in non-Euro games, a lot of times, it's like rolling dice to see what happens. Randomness. But, that said, in the modern times, the lines are blurring between a Euro game and an Ameritrash game.
Somewhat, yep.
There's lots of hybrids popping up. There's lots of crossover. I think the Euro game term and the Ameritrash term are eventually going to go out of style because I think most modern games incorporate pieces of both.
Well, that may be just a fad.
Could be a fad.
Because hybrid's kind of a thing now, right? It's kind of in to do both. So yeah, it may change into something different altogether, or it may start to split back up again. So
I don't know. But hybrid, at least for me anyway, the hybrids are what I'm enjoying these days. And by hybrids, I mean like your Blood Rage, your Scythe, your a little bit older like Kemet and Cyclades and things like that. Kind of blur the lines because you have Eurogame mechanics, but you still have that attacky, direct interaction stuff that's going on in the games as well.
Sorry, I was checking to make sure I saw the word audio, and I was like, is the audio not working?
I think we actually got it right this time.
Good job. I'm so proud of you. You get a gold star.
So looking at my list.
Uh-oh.
And my list, if you can't see, it's crossed out and marked and through and circled, and some of my games kind of tiptoe out of the Euro box.
Oh, here we go. I knew this was coming. Did I not? I called this. You saw me.
None of them are blatant, but there is. I'll explain it when I get there. Some of them do kind of...
Did you put Blood Rage on here? Because I will.
No, Blood Rage is not on my list. No, I did not. I did not put any true hybrids on my list. These are ones that I think will promote a little discussion of whether they are a true Euro game.
Oh, I like this. Promote discussion. Are we going to have technical difficulties over some of these?
So, how did you order your list?
I did not go by the most Euro-y, if that's what you're saying, to the least Euro-y. I just picked by games that probably I'd have to say are my favorite games to play that are Euros. Okay, hold on. Let me qualify that because this is about thematic Euros. I also obviously did themes, so I would say, now that I think about this, it's a combination of I did least to strongest, I feel strongest theme, and it also happened to mostly coincide with the games that I happen to like that play the best. So it kind of was like a twofer for me.
So here's what I did.
Oh, geez. I did my...
So I took
these are thematic Euros. These are cheaties.
No, I took all our games.
Okay.
Narrowed it down to what I would consider Euro games or close to Euro games. Then I ordered them by how much I like them.
Okay.
Then I took that short list and ordered it by what I consider the most thematic. I put a lot of work into this list, more than I probably should have.
That sounds like basically what I did with half the work somehow.
You're just better at this than me.
I don't know about that.
I got a little too analytical because
I walked up and was like, I went to my shelf and I said, that's a Euro, that's a Euro,
One,
that's a Euro,
two,
and I wrote a bunch down. 5, 6, 7, 8, and then I was like, I have a huge list already, I'm stopping there and ordered them.
I had 19 on my short list, and I narrowed it down to 10.
Okay, I was a little more efficient than you this time.
But some of them, even the ones I eliminated, I think are really, really good thematic. Some of them I eliminated because I thought they were too attacky. So I knocked them off.
Well, if they're attacky, then they're not Euros. So yes, good call.
Now you're just being mean.
I'm being honest here. I'll be throwing flags.
All right, we ready to go?
Should have got a flag.
I guess that was enough.
Got no whistle.
Much ado about nothing, or I don't know.
Yeah, hi everybody. I already see the chats like blazing. You guys are like already making.
I like my favorite comment so far is cheaty Euros are called churros.
Churros.
I like that.
Hilarious and delicious.
I have a couple of churros on my list.
Oh my gosh.
You want to start us off?
Oh.
All right, I'm gonna be on special effects as always until we get Nessa trained up.
Nessa, train our assistant.
All right, hold on. Let me get
next year.
Let me get them going here. All right, I'm ready when you are.
All right, my number 10. I consider people argue with this whether or not it has theme, and so I would say this is the least thematic of my thematic Euros, and that is Trajan. And yes, I can hear everyone already.
Trajan's not thematic.
Yes, it is. I just pounded on the table in front of the mic. Sorry. But yeah, so okay. To not get like annoying and technical and Roman-y and stuff, but Trajan had to deal with a lot of stuff.
You know, when anyone clarifies something like that, that means that's about to happen.
Exactly. So prepare yourself and buckle up.
I don't mean to be rude, but
not quite the same. Oh, he's a little bit feisty this evening. Okay, but it's kind of interesting because he had a slightly overextended empire that he's trying to juggle. So he's got to juggle the land area, and you've got this area control thing. And how interesting, you actually have to have soldiers or people in that area to get any goods out of them, because that's kind of how the Romans worked too. They go in and they're like, pay us taxes or we beat you up. So, it worked really well. And I thought that was rather thematic. And then you've got the whole thing with the Senate and getting things from them and jockeying for favor to get things done. I like all the different things going on because it seems like that's what was going on. So to me, I'm like, yay, lots of theme. And everyone else is like, yay, I'm pushing cubes in different ways. And I'm like, but it's
got theme to it, but there's sections of it I don't think are as thematic, and that's why I didn't make my list, because the whole guild, making a line of guilds, that doesn't really make much sense to me. But
I'm not saying it's perfect, obviously, because if it was, you'd be like running a mini empire or some weirdness. But no, I'm just saying that it does have a theme, though, and I agree.
It has a theme, but it has some things that pushed it off my list.
Okay, fair.
All right.
Okay.
Everybody says that War of the Rings is going to be on my list. It does have some Euro qualities.
Oh my gosh, what?
Card selection.
Okay.
Dual use cards.
That's
Euro-y, right? All right, my number 10 has already been called out in the chat. I'm sure they were expecting to do much higher on my list, but it is not. It is Great Western Trail.
Okay, because of theme. Got it.
And I'll explain why it's so low on my list. I think it's extremely thematic. I think it is an awesome Euro game. My issue, and this is why it was pushed down on the list, and because
hold on, is it crappy cows?
Crappy cows. It doesn't bother me. I think it's a great mechanism in the game, but it doesn't make any sense to me why you're trying to collect unique cows. If I get 2 Angus cows, one of those Angus cows is worthless. That doesn't make much theme sense to me.
Because...
And the whole theme, the whole mechanisms that you're doing around the game is to build a set of cows that are all different. And that doesn't make much sense thematically to me.
Maybe if you look at... Well, no, you can't really say breeding stock either, because you wouldn't do that. You'd want pure... Red. So
I mean, if they would have given you like a smaller value for having multiple of the same one, I would be maybe better with it, because the first one's worth a lot, but maybe the next one isn't worth as much or something. But the fact that if you have 2 of a kind, one of them is completely worthless, you may as well just throw it off the train and let it die, because it's not worth anything.
That's pretty messed up, because most people like to buy more than one cow at a time.
And it would be less of a thematic issue if that wasn't the entire crux of what you're doing. You're starting at one end of the trail, and you're working your way through trying to get all unique cows of the highest value. I can understand cows with the highest value or having the highest value hand.
Yeah.
But if I have 3 little green card cows, 2 of them are worthless. That doesn't make much sense to me. So, that is why it is my number 10 and not higher up on the list. It is an awesome game. That's why it hung onto my list.
Oregon Trail for cows. That cow.
So my number 10,
dysentery.
Great Western Trail.
There you go. All right. That's a good one. Very good one. Excellent choice. Can I do my number 9?
I'm ready when you are.
Woohoo! My number 9 is like the gateway game to end all gateway games. And that is Ticket to Ride. Okay? Why are you looking at me like that? What is this face?
I'm just waiting.
You're going to argue with me, aren't you?
I'm just waiting. I'm waiting on bated breath.
Isn't it with... Anyway.
I don't know.
No, I just think... I mean, the theme works because you're trying to build different routes from point A to point B. Because, okay, you get more points for it, but, you're going to get more customers. That makes sense. Why are you looking at me like this?
I'm waiting. I'm letting you have your time.
So you build your tracks. I mean...
But why are you collecting all the same color cards to build tracks?
You gotta have a mechanism for the game.
Right, but the mechanism should meet the theme.
That's why it's number 9.
See, that's kind of... I mean, you make your list how you want, sweetie, but the way I made my list...
Wow! I didn't analyze every aspect of how the game worked. Maybe I did this wrong. Okay, did I pull like a Sam and look at it completely differently than you?
I think you may have did a Healy.
I pulled a Healy. I'm okay with this.
I understand the building the routes and trying to get long routes and things like that.
I'm not saying it's perfect.
And the fact that the land may be scarce and you're vying for the different routes and access to the routes, but the way you build routes to me isn't thematic.
No.
Okay.
That's why it's number 9. But if we're gonna get into it, then. What train is going to use cards to build its railway system? That's not thematic. What up? Just saying.
Hey, just don't get angry. Don't drive angry. Don't build trains angry.
Don't do top 10s angry.
All right.
I'm just saying.
All right.
If we're gonna where are you drawing the line here?
I don't know.
Where do you draw the line?
I'm drawing the line.
Ascendancy. Who said Star Trek Ascendancy?
I'm drawing the line at my number 9, Pillars of the Earth.
You're not really building.
You're building a cathedral. You're getting sand. You're getting stone. You're hiring masons. You're hiring glass builders. You're building things to build a cathedral. But why is it so low on my list?
Because you suck.
Because the drawing of the little worker dudes out of the bag doesn't make much sense thematically.
Why not? Because you're just picking whoever happens to be in the village nearby to work for you.
Yeah, but why do you have to pay more to go earlier in the round?
Because if you want to get people out of season, man, you may have to steal them from other jobs. Be like, look, I know they're paying you $4. If you read the book, they actually do that. They do that in the book. They're like, I know that so-and-so is paying you this, but... If you work for us...
So you got to pay them more for them to get up earlier in the morning?
Yeah, work a little more.
Okay. Yeah. But the rest of it, I think, is very thematic. Same. The whole...
No, it is. It's great.
Transforming your raw materials into finished goods that are used to build the cathedral, and the market trading and being taxed, and getting special workers, and all that stuff, I think, is very thematic. But what are they saying?
No, I was just laughing because Dan's like, it's a joke. I was like, I know.
What's a joke?
He said Star Trek Ascendancy.
Oh.
Sorry,
but that is
distracted you.
Pillars of the Earth. I think Pillars of the Earth.
Pillars
of the Earth is.
Is there a thee? There is.
There is a thee. I think is thematic. Other than I harp on the small points, but I don't think the drawing the guys from the bag is very thematic to me. So that's why it's lower on the list.
I'm harping. Can I do my number?
Yes, you can do your number 8.
I need caffeine. All right. My number 8. You're going to be shocked.
I marked this one off my list.
Did you?
We're going to have a throwdown.
We haven't already? This is interesting.
We're going to have a throwdown on this one, I think.
My number 8 is The Voyages of Marco Polo. Because he's all about traveling and getting stuff, and that game is all about traveling and trading stuff. Boom. Theme. Okay, last time I checked, Marco Polo didn't roll dice to see where he moved. I get it. I did not consider that part. What do you think? Do you think that destroys the theme for you? If that's the case...
No, I think this made my short list. I think it was very, very thematic.
Why wasn't it on your list, though, out of curiosity?
The reason I pulled it off my list is because the dice doesn't make sense to me.
To you? Yeah. Well, that's the thing, because, boy, I mean...
It's a way to allocate what you're doing, right?
Yeah.
So it is. If you ignore the dice and say, okay, they're basically workers and I'm choosing to do these things, then that works. But
I think in a way the randomness works, though, because if you think about doing what Marco Polo did, it's kind of insane, really. This person went off and found a new trade with a group of people that he didn't, know. Wasn't sure how he was going to get there. I'm just trying to think of the adventure involved with just making that route, period. That's a lot of random factors. Is he going to find food when he runs out? There's a lot of things. So I'm thinking, okay, why not have roll the dice and see what kind of goods are available and things like that? Can you go do that? Because it's random. Yeah. How real? In a way, you can't get much more realistic than that. I'm just saying.
No, it made my short list. I think it's very thematic. I just couldn't figure out how to justify random rolls deciding what you do or not do. That's true. About it.
And I must say, there's a reason I love you guys so much, because I just look over the chat and I see Marco Polo all over the chat. It's like,
they say it's only thematic if you actually make it to Beijing.
Oh man, then I am so not thematic because I
don't think she's ever made it to Beijing.
I made it once. I had that one merchant guy that you start with where you can start in 2 locations, and I started there.
Oh.
Yeah, okay.
That doesn't really count if you have a guy
I made it legitimately. I made it there. I traveled there once. I did make it once. The rest of my games suffered dearly, but I made it. So, anyway, The Voyages of Marco Polo, very interesting game, as you can see. A little bit of randomness.
Yep, made my short list.
Very good, very good. So now it's time for your number 8.
My number 8 is the greatness that is Le Havre.
Ooh, you're getting better at saying that. Did you hear that? He didn't have to dub over the Google Translate or whatever doing it.
Le Havre is along the lines of is my choice for all the, farming, making bread, raising animals, building fences, putting in building games. I wasn't going to put 10 of those on my list.
Come on now, why not?
I think
if they're thematic.
I think Le Havre is the best example of that because it's got the shipping, and you're shipping goods, and you can transform the goods you can refine them into better goods. You can make, make clay into bricks and things like that, and use those goods to make buildings. And the goods that go into those buildings, for the most part, make sense. What goods you're using, and the shipping.
That one does better than most, I think, about that.
I think it's more thematic than I take a worker and I go here and I get
27
some coal.
Yeah.
I guess it just seems like the whole buildings and the upgrading your buildings and the interaction of the buildings and things like that is just a little more thematic for me.
Yeah.
So I think Le Havre is the best of the Feed Your People games in terms of theme.
The Feed Your People. I think you should start your own mini series of Feed Your People games.
Feed Your People games?
You seem to have a category of the Feed Your People games. I like this.
Oh, it is. You got Agricola and La Caverna
I just like the name.
and Le Havre and
See? You do a whole
Harbor and Creatures Big and Small and all those games.
It goes on and on. It's pretty
Feast of Odin.
Feasticus. All right.
For Odin. Feast of Odin. Feast the Odin.
Your prepositions matter. Just saying. Give prepositions a chance. All right, you ready for my number 7?
I'm almost ready for your number 7.
I know you're all going to be stunned into silence. Just kidding, that never happens. It's going to be repeated because it is the greatness of the Great Western Trail.
She likes crappy cows better than me?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm like, really? The only issue is what you said. And so for me, since there was only one little mechanism about the game that's not exactly right does not destroy the theme for me.
Yeah,
so
but that's the overriding goal of each turn. Right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's a little bit weird, but I also did these in combo with like games that I enjoy playing. So obviously, like since it's like super high up on the list for that, and it's got a pretty cool theme. Because I mean, you honestly spend the rest of the time. Sure, you're going to get better cows and better deals on cows if you have more cowboys.
Yeah,
makes sense.
Yeah,
your train's going to work better if you have an engineer. Makes sense. Just say it. So I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that. You and working your way through, and you have to be able to find ways to make money, and you have to get to different cities to be able to trade and get rid of your cows and this and that. I mean, in general, the theme makes a lot of sense, and it plays really well. It's a really amazing game. But yeah, just the fact that you have to have, like you said, what did you call it? The rainbow selection of cows.
Yeah.
A little weird, but usually you have one kind of cow, and you do a really good job with that one set of cows, and sell off the horde. But,
yeah.
One different thing. But how boring would that be in a game, honestly? Right. It'd be much more interesting if you have what they did.
That's where the challenge comes in, is building that perfect hand of cards, right? Yep. You're taking actions and doing different things and selling off ones you don't want on the way to have that perfect set of cards. And that's kind of the whole overriding mechanism. But you got the driving the cattle, and you're sending them to Kansas City to put them on the train to send them off to market, and the whole building buildings and the interaction with the Indians and the hazards of all
I forgot all the hazards and stuff. The hazards are great.
It's really thematic, but
get along,
I'm a stickler for that one thing.
Oh my gosh, how do you have
any? Just destroys my immersion.
Then how is it your ships produce like 15 food in Le Havre?
Because I go to the fishery to make fish.
Yeah, I'm so not touching this right now. Oh, we'll nitpick. Okay. All right, what's your number 7?
I don't know. What is my number 7?
You're supposed to put it in early so you know.
Oh, yeah.
Special effects guy's fired.
My number 7 is the greatness of Power Grid.
Dope! How did that... Okay, I was a little too efficient in making my list. I totally missed that one. Excellent game. Power
Grid may be too thematic.
Yeah, there is that.
Because it is math upon top of math of math
Science.
With some more math. But what I really think is really thematic about it is the scarcity. It has a built-in resource scarcity mechanism. So if everyone needs coal to power their plants, the coal becomes more and more expensive. And that whole resource scarcity supply and demand thing track, it just... Yeah. I think takes the theme to the next level. And then you have the plants over time becoming more and more efficient. You have alternative fuel plants popping up later in the game, which is thematic. You have the whole point is to power as many places as you can, which I think fits in the theme of you having a big power grid, right? Yep. So I think the whole theme and the auctioning and bidding over the thing, it just... The more power plants you have, the more money you get. I think it's pretty thematic.
It was a pretty awesome game.
The only reason it's lower on my list is I don't like this game as much as some other games.
And that would be on my list, and it actually would be pretty high up because I enjoy that too. And the theme is really strong with that for the reasons you said. The economics in particular, it makes perfect sense because that's pretty much how it goes. So, good pick.
Well, thank you.
You ready for my number 6?
I am ready. Hold on. Go for it.
Yeah, okay. My number 6. I'm very boring tonight. Has been mentioned again.
Oh, you copycat.
I did, but I didn't. Because I'm cooler than you, because I put it higher, and that's Le Havre. I like Le Havre for the same reasons he did, and specifically I think this one is the best example of that, because as your city evolves and becomes more advanced, you need to advance with it. So working with clay is no longer something that's viable. You need to upgrade the clay to bricks. So you're going to need to actually acquire those plants that do that so that you can go and transfer all your clay, turn it into bricks, and then build those buildings that you need out of them. And so it's a great game, and it works really well. Like you said, if you want to slaughter your cows for food, you end up getting leather out of it too, because they actually, and then you can take the leather and go and produce it and sell it and make money off of it as a separate good, or you can work with the beef, or I mean, it's pretty interesting game. It's a very tight game too. It seems like that game goes so fast. It's a game that really ramps up. We've talked about that before, some of the other Euros, where you start out and you seem like you have nothing and you're struggling to get enough resources. And then by the end of this game, you're just churning out stuff and you're just trying to figure out, okay, how am I going to maximize this to get the most points to win? And it's amazing because you don't think at the point when you start that game that you're going to be able to get anything done because it just seems like you can't do anything. And it just somehow just starts to grow and grow. I would love to see someone go through the thought processes of how they develop games like that just... How they accelerate the games. What is involved with game design that does that so well? Because they did a fantastic job in that. It was really cool.
That is made even more complex by the fact that the buildings are randomized when you play.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, it's pretty amazing. It's fantastic. So,
yeah, I have nothing more to say. I think it's a great choice.
Yeah, obviously. What can I say?
You got to keep copying my list?
No, well, maybe we'll see.
What am I doing?
Ranking them too low.
What number are we on?
Are you serious?
6?
5.
It's right there in front of me.
Man. Oh yeah, you're doing.
No, I'm doing 6.
Yeah, you're doing 6.
My number 6.
What?
Is the greatness that is viticulture.
Why is this so low? No, I want to hear. Why is this so low? Aside from actually growing grapes, how could you get... Do tell. Okay. Noted. Next.
No, viticulture I think is really great. It's very thematic. I'm just nitpicky on some things about it.
Oh my gosh, it's because we have to pick a card every season. Is that it?
That's part... Well, that's not part of it. But the part I think is you're very limited in things that you can do, and it doesn't make much sense to me. Like, your vines can only be a certain way, and it just seems very... You got a little tiny vineyard, and you can only put one set of vines on.
This is a cutthroat industry, sir. And the prime land everyone fights for.
And the cards are very, 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 very random.
Life is random. I don't think he gets this. I'm just saying.
No, viticulture is great, but
no, it's amazing.
My other games are even more greater. I do that stuff just to irk her.
I'm gonna start having this twitch.
No, viticulture is a great game. It's very awesome. Thematic.
It's very good.
But I don't know. It's just something about it. It just doesn't like. I love the mechanisms in the game, but I don't really feel like I'm growing grapes.
I feel like I don't even know him anymore. Glass beads on a little grape thing. Come on now. Just kidding. But no, I can see it but not see it, because to me, I mean, it seems like the whole process, I really feel like getting into it. I don't know. I'm curious.
I guess I get so into the weeds with the mechanisms that I don't really pay attention to what I'm doing.
There you go. Cannot enjoy a theme, people. Can't enjoy a simple thing.
I love viticulture. It's amazing.
No, I know,
it's one of my favorite
favorites.
games of all times. But at the end of it, I don't feel like, ooh, I made a bunch of wine.
Really? Because I do.
I don't feel that
Especially
way.
since that's all I have left, because he usually beats me like a point.
I guess I'm too busy dealing with the mechanism.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just doesn't. I just don't feel like... Because a lot of games, I don't know. Maybe I like games where you build an engine or build stuff.
That's true.
Or
you
something.
don't really have anything to show for it.
You just have victory points. You don't have like all these bottles of wine or all this stuff or all these things.
That's true.
I know you're selling them off, but I don't know. Just
no, you're right. Because the only thing you have to show for that really is it all converts down into that victory point line at the bottom.
Right.
There's not. You don't have a tableau of your filled orders because you put those in the discard pile.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I like the.
That makes sense.
I like the look what I did aspect to games.
Yeah.
And that one doesn't have a look what I did aspect, other than the little buildings that you build on your board.
True enough. All right. Any comments from the peanut gallery before I move on?
They're making fun of my not liking the vines.
It is kind of funny, huh?
Fine. My number 1, viticulture.
Now we're talking. All right, we're moving on to my number 5, which, given how you responded to another one of these games, you're going to give me grief about this one.
Put on the flame retardant gear. Go ahead, sweetie. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is Airlines Europe. Now,
it made my short list, but
of course, because you're like, it uses plastic airplanes instead of real ones. So it's not. Now, I like this because I think this game is not focusing as much on the routes, but the market around it. And I think that's why I like the theme for this, because it's set up more as a market game. So yeah, you're building those routes, but those the routes are more of a secondary thing as you're trying to do the stock. The stocks are what you're playing with in this game. So I feel invested as someone who is actually trying to invest in airline companies and stuff in this game, because you really are playing the field and trying to manage those businesses and put stocks where they need to go and stuff. So to me, that does feel like it's a thematically strong game.
Yeah, I'm not sure why I took it off my list, because
you like this game a lot too.
I do. I love this game, but I don't. It just seems like more of a set collection game. It really doesn't feel like. I don't feel like I'm a big businessman willing and dealing and.
That's because you mess with business all the time. I don't.
I don't. It's for me. This is just me personally. It would be hard I'm gonna check my list before I.
Yes, you should.
It would be hard for me for an economic game to be on this list for me.
Okay, well, yeah, because you're like.
Just because it just doesn't.
That makes sense.
Like for example, Pitt to me would be more thematic than Airlines Europe. Just because it gives that frenzied,
the stock market
frenzied aspect of trading and playing a game, whereas Airlines Europe is like, okay, I build a couple more things. I just don't feel. For me, theme means a little bit of immersion, right?
Yeah. I don't think of Airlines Europe as a stock market game, just a stock. If that makes any sense, because it's more like the investors. Not the people on the floor of the stock market.
True.
If that makes sense.
No, you're just like I said. It made my short list. I had to shorten it down, and it doesn't feel. I don't know. It just doesn't feel. Maybe if there was like a round of trading or some kind of thing. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, because that one, like, I don't know. It's just. I don't know. It feels like to me it actually has a theme.
It does.
So
I agree, but it just isn't as strong to me as. Some other ones.
There you go. All right. Your number... Because apparently that doesn't tell you. The big giant 5 on the screen.
Shh. My number 5 was called out earlier by the chatness.
Uh-oh.
And that is the greatness of terraforming Mars.
Number 5?
The reason.
Oh, geez.
Terraforming Mars is super thematic, in my opinion, because the cards are thematic. You can only use certain cards during certain temperatures and oxygen levels and all this stuff. The reason it's a bit low is it dips into that Amerithrashiness.
Where?
Because I can drop a comet on your head.
Really? But that's like one card, isn't it?
And there's also, you can like blow up their stuff, and you have animals eat their plants, and there's
How have I missed these cards?
Because I don't think we play with. I think the more advanced cards do more of that. There's just a taste of it.
Well, I didn't know that.
We haven't played with it, but there's a taste of it in the basic cards. There is the drop the comet on someone's head card in Terraforming Mars. I think it kind of tiptoes over into the attackiness of Amerithrash games.
So would you call this a churro?
This is a churro. I would call this a churro.
You have your first churro, everyone.
Because I think I consider this a Euro game. But a true Euro player, like a Euro gamer, cut and dry Euro gamer, would hate this game because you can drop a comet and blow up some of my stuff.
Well, yeah, that's true.
For most people, for true Euro gamers, it's like I play my game over here, you play your game over here.
Hey.
And we don't really interact with each other. So the fact that I can attack you and eat your plants and mess with you and do things to you makes it a little bit less Euro-y in my opinion.
Oh yeah, it would. Technically.
If I didn't have that caveat, this would be like 1 or 2 on my list. But I'm a stickler.
You are indeed, sir. All right.
Yeah, Kabuki Kid mentioned, he said the Care Bear Euroers, which is what I was talking about, the ones that don't want the interactivity, would pull those cards out of the deck and not play with those cards. Which you can do. I'm sure.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm sure you can go through the deck and go, okay, pull out all the attack cards out, and
that's actually
not play with those.
Well, that's one thing I like about that game is you can do that and it doesn't change the game.
The only reason I would say it's on the list is because that's not really the theme of the game. It's not. I'm trying to mess you up. My whole goal is to push you down and not let you do anything. It's more of a mechanism to slow you down and to throw you kind of off kilter.
Comet's a little bit drastic as a stalling technique.
But I think all the Comet does is like it destroys like one of your things, like one of your cards, or I don't remember what it does.
Oh, it doesn't destroy a third of the life on Earth. Mars or something. No. Okay, so we're not.
I don't even remember what it does. It's not horrendously bad, but yeah. But the theme of the game isn't. It's a struggle between me and you to see who survives. It's more of I want to be more efficient than you are, and I have ways to slow you down. So, there you go.
Good points. All right. Onward to my number 4. I feel like you beat me to my list. It's very annoying.
What's at the top of my list then? If you're right behind me on that.
Oh, I'm sure it's some churro game that I'm going to smack you about. That's what my guess is. I like this.
You may have predicted correctly.
Yeah, I probably did. And I'm pretty sure I know what it is now because of that comment. All right, my number 4.
War of the Ring.
Has been mentioned before. And it's viticulture.
Day late and a dollar short.
Oh my gosh, I like it better than you. And I think the theme's there better than you claim.
I think viticulture at this point is probably higher on your list than mine.
It is.
Before you're doing a new top 100.
It is because I think part of it too is, as we've talked before, though, you're like into the newness and stuff, and I
like new games.
I am a book rereader. I'm a board game replayer. I will play them 5,000 times if I had the opportunity. But somebody is like, hey, I think got a new game.
I think I just been categorized as Cult of the New.
You are Cult of the New. Who are you kidding?
Perhaps. Continue with your witty culture.
Yes.
Witty culture.
Witty culture. Yeah, so since Mr. Cult of the New is here, I think it's slowly faded on you.
Let me see, hold on.
I mean, it's still technically an evergreen, it's just not as shiny as it used to be to you. You like shiny new things.
I do like reading rules and learning new games.
He does. And since there's really not much more... I'm trying to think. Yeah, we've explored all of the expansions to viticulture now, so... Yes.
Yep, we have played everything.
We have played everything.
Yep.
So there you have it. And we basically already went over viticulture, but I like the process, and I think the theme is there because you have to have your fields, and you have to have the equipment to grow the grapes, and you have to grow the grapes, and then you have to make the wine, and the right kinds of wine, to fill your wine orders. Makes perfect sense. And it's actually pretty fun to do. Surprisingly fun, because... I gotta be honest, some of these Euro themes, you're kind of like, that's dry. But this time it's a dry wine, and it's tasty, and it's fun. So.
No, it's high up on my list. Like I said, I just like games where at the end you can look down and go, ooh, look what I did.
I know, and this is not one of those games. But while you're playing it, you're like, this is such a pretty game. That's what I do.
I think it's a theme crutch for me. That's not a very good crutch symbol.
I was going to say, what was that? You're digging a ditch?
That I can look down and go, ooh, look what I did. That helps me. That helps me with the theme. I don't know.
You should have put that as part of your definition.
All my top games are pretty much, ooh, look what I did games. Are you done with your witty culture?
I am done.
My number 4, eh?
But I could regale you with more stories of how wonderful viticulture is.
Tell me about Formaggio.
I like cheese. And the fact that...
My number 4 is the hilarity and greatness of the networks. I take it's higher up on your list. I think that my next 2 are going to be higher up on your list, I think. Anyway, networks. Networks is fun. Basically, you're a network executive. You're building a lineup of shows on your television station. You're trying to be the most efficient with those shows, comboing it off of actors and advertisements, and have the most viewers each year. Can't get more thematic than that.
I know, and it's just hilarious.
I just think the whole, you have a line, like I said, this is the look what I did aspect. What?
Jackson's like, play Manhattan Project. all right. Not right now.
So you got, no, I think they mean the worker placement Manhattan Project. Anyway, you end up with a lineup of shows, and you got actors and things. It just, I get immersed in that because I like reading the shows and seeing which actors are on which shows and all that stuff. That really helps, like I said, it's a crutch because I can look at something and go, look what I did. And the shows age just like real shows, and you have to pass them on and bring out new interesting shows, and I just think it's super thematic. It doesn't have very much attackiness. I mean, there are slight attacky cards, but
it's so minor as to be almost not.
It's almost not even there, and the interactivity is indirect. I mean, the attack by taking
it's like you take the card that they might have wanted to buy. That's really the attack.
That's pretty much how Euro games interact with each other, right? You either block a space or I take something that you want, right? That's how I attack you. I don't send a troop in to blow up your TV studio.
Exactly. So I just love it too. It's a fun, awesome game. More on that later.
So anyway, Networks, really awesome thematic Euro game.
Yep. Prepare my number 3 for me, sir.
We're already at 3?
We are. We're just flying.
We're making pretty good time. These games go a little bit longer because we chat a lot more.
I know.
Number 3, let's see.
No. For once, it's one he hasn't mentioned yet. Okay, sorry. A little bitter. The Pursuit of Happiness. You guys know I love this game. Oh my gosh. It's a game of life for gamers. And the theme is great because you start out and you're going through your life. You're starting out as a young person and you have, what is it they call it? Your initial traits that you're... I'm trying to think, you're born with or whatever.
Yeah, I can't think of the name
you could be resourceful, or you might be born rich, or you might be, what was the other one? Resourceful. And they had some great little qualities and stuff, and it's basically your startup. So everything's slightly asymmetrical when you start. You might have more resources of a certain kind, or of all of the kinds, or you might have more money, different things. While you're a teenager, you cannot... they kind of change it up, you can't do certain things. You can't go and start your career because you need to be doing other things. But you can get jobs and different little side projects, I should say, and stuff like that. And then as you get older, the field opens up and you can go and get married, start a family, move up in your career, and this and that. It's just a really fun game because you're going and you kind of get to pick and choose, and there's a little bit of randomness of what comes out, which is kind of like how it goes, right? You might start off going, I really want to find a really cool scientist job. Child traits. Thank you. That's what they call it. Child traits. Yeah, I know it was driving you crazy. Right? I know. I was like, it's going to pop up in my brain in a second, but it didn't. And it's just, I don't know. It's a really fun game. And again, there's really nothing attacky about that again, except for the fact that
taking things other people want.
Yeah, right? Exactly. I stole, you stole my motorcycle, or I stole his board game collection. Ooh. That was pretty cool. That kind of stuff. So, but yeah, it's a blast. I really enjoy that because it's taking you through the different steps. And of course, old age, the more you're working when you're old, the more it stresses you out. It's kind of funny. I don't know. There's just all these different little things about each age.
Hey, guess what?
Is it the same?
My number 3 is The Pursuit of Happiness.
He copied me for once.
Technically, we shared the number.
You don't share.
Share. Everything she said.
Yes.
But no. Next. Again, it's another game just like Networks. You look down, you've got your job that you did, all the projects you worked on. You got your
weird hobbies.
Your significant other.
Yes, that's right. What were you called? Melter?
Melter.
Yes.
Me, good old Melter.
I was Rebeccan.
Mel and Hunter and Melter.
Rebeccan. Me and Ken.
But no, like I said, I like games where at the end you have something to look down. You've gone on a journey, and your end result is here, in front of you. So I like games like that.
Yeah, blast.
So let's just move on.
Yes, let's do that. Number dos. Numero dos, as they say in Panama.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Let's see what we got here.
Yeah, somebody already mentioned my number 2 because I thought the theme was quite strong, and that would be the networks. Because I'm sorry, I get the giggles. You start off with this horrid little channel that's got like TV shows like What's in My Pockets, and then you move on to like, you know, spoofs off of NCIS and big name shows and movies and things, and the actors are persnickety and will only work with one type of show, or only will work if there's commercials, and the commercials only want to air during certain times because they're going to hit their target audience. And I love how things combo off of each other, or the cutthroat frenzied pace of it, trying to figure out, oh my gosh, how am I going to make this fit and get the maximum number for each, because oh my goodness, the season's going to end, and it's just, I really enjoy that game. It's a blast. So everything he said and more, because it's my number 2.
And more.
That's
it? All right.
I honestly hope, really and truly, that they do an expansion with that and add more goofy shows and stuff, because the shows crack me up every time we play it. Absolutely love that game.
My number 2.
Well, it's not the networks.
Is...
Yes. Really?
The Gallerist.
But they don't actually paint in that game. Not thematic.
You hire artists.
You do.
You entice people to come to your gallery.
You do.
You sell paintings.
You do. Sometimes.
I think the Gallerist is very thematic.
Actually, it is. It was on my short list. But I did the twofold of like to play and theme, so it was just off the list of the games that I put in here.
I don't know. When I play that game, I feel stressed because I am the museum curator, and I've got to balance artists with selling, with bringing people into your museum, and advertising, and all the craziness that you got to do in the Gallerist.
Yeah.
And you have an easel. You can't get more thematic than an easel.
Yeah.
A little easel that you put your paint
It's adorable. They're so adorable. It's like, why is there only like one of these in the game? We need to have lots of easels. They're adorable. Yes. Yes, indeed. So, I heartily agree.
They're talking of rumors of a Networks expansion pack.
Ooh, really? Yes. You can surprise me with one of those when it's time to like do some random unboxing news.
So my number 2, the heavy.
It's heavy.
Heavy.
Physically heavy.
Heavy.
And, yeah.
Heavy game of the Gallerist. I just think there is a little thing that I think is less thematic, is the little scory thing on the side, but I think that's just showing that you're the best at certain things, right?
That's true.
You're best at certain categories of things, which helps with your advertisement and helps with your museum.
Yes.
I don't know. I just found it extremely thematic when I was playing it.
That's one thing I like about that too, honestly, because the Gallerist is a heavy Euro, and a lot of times the heavy ones, the theme's kind of secondary.
Yeah.
Really, because it's all about like working your brain around solving these problems, and really theme doesn't necessarily have much to do with that. Like, we like to joke, sometimes it's glorified cube pushing or something else, right? But in this case, you really do actually feel like there's a theme with it.
I think that the paintings help.
Yeah.
The little pictures
really
of
cool.
the
They
art.
actually put art on there.
The little pictures of the artists. There's different kinds of art. There's the statues and the drawings and things like that.
It's pretty cool.
You can specialize in one area. You're trying to get... I don't know. I just found it extremely thematic when I played it.
Yeah. We need to play that again soon, actually. It's a good one.
All right, so tell us about Terraforming Mars.
Oh my God. Man, he has destroyed my list. I don't like you. But yes, of course, it's Terraforming Mars. I love Terraforming Mars. But one of the reasons I love it so much is because the theme is there. As far as a board game goes, too, I mean, I think it's pretty awesome that there's at least a nod to science in this one, you know? You have it set up so that you can't just have fish on Mars if you don't have water, okay? Your water also needs to be warm enough to not be frozen solid. So, I mean, it just makes perfect sense to me that you have to have oxygen levels a certain point, your temperature has to be a certain point, and you have to have water on the planet before you can have fish. They took the time, which still blows my mind, some of the complexities in these games, to balance this out so that there are all these requirements and you still are able to lay these out and develop the planet in a common sense order. It makes perfect sense. And yeah, okay, I totally forgot about we haven't played the advanced game, so I didn't know as much about the attacky thing, because
I don't think we've encountered a lot of the attacky cards when we've played.
I think
for
the
whatever
only
reason.
one, now that you said
I mean, the deck is like this thick, so
Yeah.
I can see how we could have missed the attacky cards, right?
Yeah, I think the only one we've had is, like you said, destroyed some plants or
something.
I
think
it was in our it was on our player mat somehow or something.
We had a card that it would eat other people's microbes and plants, or I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, but at the time, like, one of us didn't really have any or something.
Yeah,
anyway, so I mean, it was something that now that you said that, I kind of dismissed it because I didn't even. It wasn't affecting me.
In the the game, the handful, we probably played it maybe 4 or 5 times. All the times we played it, I can't really think of a really drastic attack that we've done against each other. But I played the game at Board Game Geek Con, I think it was. And gosh, we were just like attack, comets,
Oh my god,
space stations, eating plants, the
Wow.
carnivorous animals. There was a ton of attack stuff that we got.
I guess I'm running with the wrong crowd. You're far too nice on your terraforming. But yeah, I absolutely love this game. If you haven't somehow, if you're avoiding it because of the hype or whatever reason, don't. It's actually, I mean, it's one of those that actually lives up to the talk. If you like Euro, kind of like Civ planet building games, this is great. I really like the way that it works. It's just, I don't know, it's a pretty elegant game, to be honest.
I agree 100%. If it didn't have the attack part of it, like I said, if you pulled all the attack cards out, it would be number 1 on my list probably.
Yeah, and it's, again, that's not essential to the game, obviously, because, yeah, I have yet to really attack anything.
Everybody's making fun of my attacky cards.
Your attacky cards? Yeah.
That's what I call them. They're attacky cards. I attack you with them.
Should tell them about.
All right, folks. What's my number 1? It's a churro.
Oh, come on! Everybody's already mentioned it, I'm sure.
No, no one said my number 1 is.
I think somebody did in passing earlier on.
I don't think it's been mentioned. I don't think it's been mentioned in all the discussions, even the joking discussions. It's my number 1.
Ooh, Kabuki. Always thinking. You changing your mind now?
War of the Ring.
You know him well.
All right, so
Let's hear it.
The guesses so far are above and below. I did not include above and below because when you go on your expeditions, you roll dice.
That's true.
To see what the result is.
That's true. Because you can't always choose what you want to choose because of the dice. Nitpicky, remember?
I'm nitpicking. I think it's super thematic, but I think it's too random. Scythe, way too attacky for way too attacky.
No, that's too random.
Scythe is way too attacky, way too random, way too hybridy. And Tommy wins! My number 1
Did he
is...
put what I think he put? Yeah.
Through the Ages, a new story of civilization. The reason it's on my list is because we play the Care Bear version of that game.
Oh, okay. Because I was like, no, there's an entire chunk of that game. So he cheated. This is like a burnt churro.
Through the Ages, it does have war and it does have attackiness, but you can take those out of the game, and that's how we play.
It's tacky.
So, Through the Ages, I just think it's so thematic because you start off and you got one dude beating 2 sticks together, and you slowly build up. You build up the iron and you build up the steel, and you start off with like soldiers with spears, and you end up with fighter jets, and you go through the whole process, the whole Civ thing. And if you take the war cards out, and you take the, what's the other card? Aggression? I don't know what they're called. War and...
Cheating?
What's the other one? Cheating.
Such a cheat.
War, and then there's another, there's like not as bad as war. It's called something else. Anyway, you take those out, and you're left with the colony cards, which aren't attacky. That's a bidding system. Bidding is a point system. That is a bidding system for the colony, so it's not an actual attack. You're not really attacking someone.
Okay, I just want to add that trading is just as cutthroat in many ways and evil.
There's no trading in Through the Ages. It's bidding.
I'm sorry, bidding. The bidding for that colonization is as cutthroat, if not more, than doing the war stuff. It's pretty brutal. I think this is the cheatiest burnt churro.
How is it cheaty? How is it? Tell me how this is cheaty.
Okay, wait a minute. Wasn't I told that mine were not thematic enough because... Okay, this to me... I love this game. Don't get me wrong.
No, you got your population.
You are pushing cubes in this game.
You got to train your population up. You have to keep your people happy by giving them religion and cool theater and stuff like that. You've got to upgrade your workers from iron workers to better workers. You have your military. You upgrade your military. You're recruiting leaders that have different powers and abilities to lead your people. Come on. It's crazy thematic.
Yeah, but the mechanisms that you've argued with me about this entire game...
What's the mechanisms?
Pushing cubes. Pushing cubes.
The cubes.
You put a cube from a little person, you go over here.
Your cube is representing a trained member of your population that you put them to work doing a task. That's what the cubes represent. And when you're drafting the cards, you're choosing where your civilization's going to go with their... What are you laughing at?
I'm not laughing. I haven't even read anything.
When you draft your cards, you're choosing the direction of your civilization. Do you want to focus in on military? Do you want to work towards development? Do you want to increase the happiness of your people by getting more religion and culture and theater?
I think this list is rife with hypocrisy. I'm just saying.
How's there hypocrisy?
You were dogging on my list for things that little nitpicking.
Tell me why.
There's a third of the game that you can choose to omit. A third of the game that's like military. This direct attack.
It's not direct.
Yeah. Okay, you send two armies at each other.
Answer me this.
Oh my gosh, this is your number one.
Answer me this question. How many times have we played where we could attack each other?
Once.
How many times have we played where we can't attack each other?
The rest.
Which is a lot.
That doesn't dismiss it. That's how that game goes. Oh, man.
So down in the comments, let me know if my list is invalid. And remember, she picked Ticket to Ride.
What? Oh my gosh, throwdown!
All right, folks. In the chat and down in the comments.
Your favorite
chat's over here. Comments are down there. Tell us what is your most thematic Euro.
Yeah, let's see. Let's
see your stuff. Thematic you made fun of my list. Now let's see what you got.
No attacky bits.
Well, their definition of Euro may be different than my definition of Euro.
Obviously.
Pandemic Legacy. I thought about Pandemic Legacy. That is a good one.
But do you consider co-ops then to be Euros? Here's the thing. Do you see? I kind of put them in a different bucket because otherwise that opened up a whole can of
my definition of a Euro is I do my thing over here.
Oh, okay, so you do
your thing over here.
Robinson Crusoe. See, that's another. Isn't that?
I think they're very thematic. I just omitted co-ops because I don't like them.
So wrong. Manhattan Project, man.
Eclipse. I thought about Eclipse. Eclipse is highly thematic, but too attacky.
Yes.
And I'm going to continue to say attacky.
And Scythe.
Too attacky.
I am stunned and appalled, given your list, that you did not put Scythe on here.
Terraforming Mars. That's a good one. Lots of Scythe. I'm okay with.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that because
I'm shocked you didn't put Scythe.
Because really, when you attack someone in Scythe, it's a setback. You're not like eliminating troops. it's a setback. It's the same thing as if I drop a comet on you and you lose some resources, right?
Champions of Midgard.
Too random. That's why I didn't put champions.
That's a good
Way
one.
too random.
That's a good one. That's good. Word of the day.
Rebel Revolution. I've never played that, but I want to. I almost bought it because I think it was going to have a crazy sale on it recently.
Oh, man.
But I didn't get it.
Yeah, a lot of you guys are really, like, super big Terraforming Mars and Scythe fans. That's awesome. Euros to you are only... Yes, you know what? That's right. That's kind of how Hunter looks at Euros. It's kind of... He's actually mentioned that to me before, that it looks like some kind of, like, multiplayer solitaire.
Yep.
In fact, some of the games that he doesn't like as much is because we don't interact at all.
In my world over here, I'm trying to be as efficient as
possible. Ooh, Lords of Waterdeep. Yes.
That's on my short list.
Yeah, we love that one.
The only reason I think... A lot of people say it's not thematic, but I think if you read the...
Yeah, if you read all the flavor
text, I think it adds to
Especially if you do Scandals of Skullport, too. That's a... Oh, man, yeah, that's a good one.
Let me get my...
Shakespeare. Ooh, good.
Short list. It's on my short list. Man, you guys are guessing my short list.
Yeah, that one is really thematic too. That one's really
Aquasphere is a pretty good one. I like that one too. I don't like that game as much.
Yeah, it's got a pretty good theme to
it. Here's some of my short list while you guys are chatting in the text. Takanoko.
True. That's a good one. Very cute.
Time Stories, but it's too random. That's why I got axed off my...
You're fighting all the time in that. I guess you're not fighting each other though. Yeah.
It's a co-op. Pandemic Legacy.
Awesome.
Again, co-op.
Yeah.
Age of Empires.
Yeah.
Too attacky.
But it attacks.
Voyages of Marco Polo. Too random. Airlines Europe, because you picked it. Alien Frontiers. Again, same reason.
Oh, that's attacky.
Same for Marco Polo. You don't attack.
Alien Frontiers?
It's area control, but yeah, that's kind of attacky.
Yeah.
Stone Age. The only reason Stone Age didn't make it is because it's kind of just... Because the like-it value has gone down for that one.
Like value hasn't gone down. It's just I play it all the time.
And another one not mentioned so far in the chat, Automania.
Yeah, that's a good one. Have you guys played that?
The reason Automania doesn't make it is a whole grid selection thing is kind of weird.
It's just the cogs in the machine, like
when you're picking your action. You put your worker and
that's the latest trends. Just go with that. It's a fad. No, if you haven't played Automania, that one's a good one too. That's pretty good. Yep.
Yeah, I'm really digging the hybrids. Those are my favorite games right now.
Yeah, that's true. You are really digging
Imperial Settlers.
There's a lot of attack in that, actually.
Yeah, but it's a co-op. It's a co-op, though. I don't know.
What? No, it's not. Imperial Settlers?
Well, it's a one versus all. It's like Descent. It's one versus all.
Imperial Settlers?
Oh, I'm thinking of... I'm thinking
the one
of
with
Imperial
the
Assault. I'm thinking about Imperial Assault.
Oh, Imperial Assault. No. Imperial Settlers. I'm like the little cute tomatoes.
That one's a good one, but it's kind of attacking, right?
Kind of. I blow up your buildings all the time on a regular basis. I'm like, you're getting too many points.
Small World's another good hybrid. I'll call that a hybrid game.
That one's all about attacking regions. True. I don't think I would call that a Euro. I don't know, but that's a great game.
Imperial Settlers. That's a good one. Yeah. There you go, folks.
You guys had some good games. Awesome. Good picks.
There
Imperial Assault. War of the Ring.
So, for those that have stuck around, you guys get a gold star. Oops.
We get a gold star, huh?
Get a gold star. If you made this far, you get a gold star.
Yay! Gold star, everybody.
We apologize for not having content for a while now. It just a vortex of what is it? What's the series of unfortunate events? What's it called?
But they haven't been so unfortunate, just chaotic.
Well, I got sick because of all my vaccinations for the Panama trip. Rebecca's got some kind of sinus infection thing going on.
I don't know.
Work's going crazy, so we're trying our best. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And any last comments?
We'll just do the best it can. It's going to be a little hairy through probably May-ish, mid-May. So we're going to try to keep our schedule as regular as possible. But sorry if it gets screwy, we may not be able to. I
leave. Lady.
You say excuse me. And you're named Lady. How rude.
I leave Sunday for Panama for 2 weeks. As soon as we get back, it is birthday, Mother's Day chaos for the next week or so.
At least, yeah.
And then
it's school ends.
Finals start.
Finals.
So it's going to be a bit crazy.
And graduation and yeah. So, yeah.
Kabuki, the 2 of the vaccinations I had to take were live viruses. The typhoid and the yellow fever are live viruses, and they will make you a little sick.
Or a lot sick.
Or a lot sick in my
Yellow
case.
fever. He had yellow fever plague.
I know it's supposed to be like a strain that's not as bad or less.
That's good.
I don't know. I don't know how it works, but yeah, you actually have live viruses for those.
Yeah,
they're not the true. They're like a different. I don't know. It gives you the same antibodies, but it's not the really bad disease. I don't know how it works. So.
Science.
I don't know. I just know it made me really, really sick, and I got joint pain and all sorts of craziness.
Yeah, it was really weird symptoms.
But
real life pandemic, yes.
All right, so ladies, send us off. You want to exit us, lady?
So yes, say goodbye and thank you for joining us in this very chaotic top 10 thematic Euros, right?
And two quick comments before we go. Board Game Leaks. Vote us up on Board Game Links. And 2, put in the comments ideas for top 10s because we love using you guys' ideas.
Oh yeah, we have a couple left to do, but we like to.
So give us some ideas for top 10s.
Yep.
And we're going to continue to do the live ones. I mean, they run a little bit longer. This one's a little over an hour, and that seems to be what they're running.
It's not standard.
But I like chatting. I like seeing people talking and
you guys
all
are
that
hilarious.
good stuff. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Bye. Have a good night or day.
Maybe if I could shut this off.
You tried.